Welcome to Mother Cluckers. My name is Debbie. The belief that a chicken dust bathing is calling for rain is a superstition found in various cultures, especially in rural agricultural communities where people often relied on animals and natural signs to predict the weather. This idea likely started long before meteorology, when farmers observed patterns in animal behavior and began associating them with changes in the environment. Seeing chickens roll around in dry dirt, fluffing their feathers and kicking up clouds of dust may have appeared strange or even ritualistic. In times of drought or when people desperately needed rain for their crops, any unusual animal behavior could be interpreted as a sign or even a prayer. Dust-bathing chickens, coated in dry earth and wriggling as if in performance, may have looked like they were conducting a ceremonial plea to the skies, calling for rain to fall. Another reason this myth may have taken hold is due to coincidence. Chickens dust bathe more during warm, dry weather, particularly when the ground is dry enough for the fine dirt they need. And in many climates, long periods of dryness are followed naturally by rain. So when people saw chickens dust bathing and it rained a day or two later, the cause and effect seem obvious to them despite the lack of real connection. But the truth is, chickens don't dust bathe to summon the weather. They do it for a far more practical biological reason, to stay clean and healthy. Unlike mammals, chickens don't bathe in water to clean themselves. Instead, they instinctively dig into dry, loose dirt and toss it into their feathers. The dust helps absorb excess oil, removes moisture and skin parasites, and prevents mites and lice from setting up camp on their skin. It's their version of a shower, and it's vital to their health. If a chicken can't dust bathe regularly, it becomes more prone to external parasites and stress. That's why chickens will go out of their way to find or create a dust bath, even in the middle of a coop, a flower bed, or a gravel driveway. Wherever soil is dry and loose enough, they'll dig a shallow bowl and roll around in it, fluffing their feathers, twitching their wings, and kicking dust up over their backs. Dust bathing is not only hygienic, it's also social and soothing. Chickens often dust bathe in groups. They'll take turns or lounge together, chirping softly, sometimes even falling asleep in the dirt after a good soak. It's a time when they feel safe and relaxed, often choosing sunny, quiet spots. This social aspect may have added to the impression that chickens were gathering for a purpose, maybe to perform a ritual or to call upon the elements. From a scientific standpoint, there's no connection between dust bathing and upcoming rain. Chickens don't have the ability to sense or influence weather patterns. However, they are highly in tune with their environment. They may become quieter or more alert before a storm, but the act of dust bathing itself is not a predictor of rain, just a natural behavior related to grooming and comfort. This dust bathing myth also reflects a broader human tendency. When we don't fully understand animal behavior, we often fill in the gaps with symbolism or stories. In many parts of the world, rain is associated with life, growth, and renewal. So it makes sense that people would want to believe an everyday farm animal had some special connection to such an important force. Chickens, always visible and active in a village or farmyard, become natural messengers in folklore, bringers of news, omens, or weather changes. And although we now know that dust bathing has nothing to do with rain, the image of a chicken rolling in dirt and summoning the clouds remains a charming piece of rural storytelling. It reminds us of a time when people lived in much closer observation of the animals around them, and often interpreted the natural world through the lens of hope, need, and imagination. What's even more interesting is that chickens often create and return to the same dust bath spot again and again, turning a patch of dry soil into a deep, soft crater. These areas can almost look like crop circles in the yard. If you raise chickens, you'll notice how quickly a clean lawn can turn into a spa zone of holes, feathers, and content clucks. Some people mistake this damage for destructive behavior, but in fact it's a sign of healthy instinct. If chickens don't have access to dry, loose dirt, they may try to dust bathe in bedding, feed, or even ashes, anything they can fluff through their feathers. Also, hens dust bathe more during the spring and summer months when parasites are more active. This natural rise in dust bathing can easily line up with seasonal weather shifts, especially as summer storms become more frequent. So it's easy to see how someone might believe that a chicken's dust bath is connected to rain. But again, it's simply part of their grooming rhythm, not weather magic. In fact, dust bathing is considered one of a chicken's strong drives. That means it's as important to their well-being as eating or laying eggs. When chickens are kept in factory farms where they can't dust bathe, it causes visible stress. They may feather pick or become aggressive. That's how vital this behavior is to their health, both physical and emotional. Dust from the bath gets deep into their down feathers and along the skin, loosening dead skin cells and smothering parasites like lice and mites. As they shake off the dust afterwards, they're removing those pests and coating their feathers in fine particles that help reduce moisture and oil. Some even believe that dust helps regulate body temperature by insulating the skin, especially in hot climates. Backyard chicken keepers who want happy hens often go out of their way to provide a good dust bath. That can mean a dry patch of ground, a wooden box filled with play sand, wood ash, or diatomaceous earth, or even potting soil kept in a covered area. Giving chickens a place to dust bathe improves their health and prevents them from digging in places you'd rather they didn't, like your flower beds or vegetable patch. So next time you see a chicken joyfully rolling in the dirt, know that she's not calling for rain. She's just giving herself a much-needed spa day. But don't let go of the myth entirely. It's a reminder of how long we've lived alongside chickens, how deeply their behavior is woven into our stories, and how even simple acts can spark wonder when we look at them closely. As always, we thank you for watching and supporting our channel, and we'll see you next time.